Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Yang. I'm the president of Montgomery County Board of Education. Thank you for coming tonight. When I was thinking about tonight, I say, wow, what is tonight about? I think you know that tonight is about education. But tonight also really is about education partnership. So before I begin, I would like to take a moment to thank Richard Montgomery High School for hosting us here. Let's give them a round of applause. And I would like actually the principal, Dini, to come up to the front and greet our legislators.
Welcome to Richard Montgomery High School. I'm Alicia Dini, the principal of Richard Montgomery. Richard Montgomery is the oldest high school in Montgomery County, 1892. Don't let Blair tell you that they are older than us. Yeah, I was at Blair, so you all know I love Blair. I really appreciate this night, and I just want to say thank you to everyone in this room for all of your hard work. I was principal at Tacoma Park Middle School when we went through an addition, and in that process, I looked up some history of the school, and I think you'll find that the history of every school involves people like you that through decades and decades and decades paid attention to the appropriations, to the funding, to the needs of students, the need for a school in the first place. And so when we come together at these types of events, that is what I'm thinking about. And I'm thinking about how wonderful it is that we continue this beautiful process, even if it's sometimes difficult or painful and there are hard decisions to make. That is why we're all here, for that purpose. So thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for coming to RM to enjoy one of the places that is a result of that hard work and all of that decision making. Have a great evening, and I'm excited for you to continue that process on our behalf.
Thank you. Joining us tonight, this is the Board of Education event, are all my wonderful colleagues. I would like to take a moment to introduce themselves, say their names and the district. I will start from our Vice President.
Good evening, buenas noches. Today is Clara Oben, and I represent District 1. Good evening, Rita Montoya, Board Member at Large.
Good afternoon, everybody. Carla Silvestri, School Board Member at Large.
Good evening, Laura Stewart, and I'm representing District 4. And maybe you could hear better if I said this. Laura Stewart, and I represent District 4.
I don't think I need a microphone. Brenda Wool, and I represent District 5.
Good evening, Anuva Malou, student member of the board. Blair High School.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. So as I was saying that tonight is about education, but truly tonight is about partnership. As leaders in education and legislation, I think we have our responsibility, right, to fulfill the dreams and needs and the hopes of our students, our families, and our staffs. And we can only succeed if we can work closely together. So at the beginning of this school year, we invited you to go on school tour with us, and a lot of you join us, and that is one of the ways, right? We get to know our shared responsibility, the people we serve, and the school buildings that we build together. And our schools, are the I missed some introduction. There are some county council members in the back. If you want to, and county exec, if you want to just say hi to everyone. All right, everyone knows who they are right there. Okay, great. Yeah, our schools are not just classroom and hallways. They are the beating heart of our neighborhoods, the launch paths of opportunity, and the common ground where families of every background come together. When our schools are strong, our entire county flourishes. And that strength is possible only when every level of government stands united behind public education. So that is why tonight is so important. You, the legislators, play a vital role in shaping the laws that directly impact our classrooms. The board brings the voice of students and schools and the education policy, and our superintendent brings in the know-how in education and operation. And together, we have the ability to build a system that is responsive, equitable, and prepared for the future. So I want to thank you not only for your presence, but for your partnership, for the bills you will sponsor, and the funding you will fight for, and the advocacy you lead on behalf of our children. We know that when the board and our state and county delegations work hand in hand, Montgomery County schools will thrive. So in a few moments, you will hear, we will present our 2026 legislative platform, rooted in one conviction, that purposeful policy have the power to unleash student potential. So our platform is built on 3 commitments. Number 1, to provide access and opportunity to every student. Number 2, to give each school the flexibility to meet the students' unique needs. And number 3, to celebrate the many diverse paths to succeed that make our system stronger. Now, but before we turn to policy, I want to take a moment to pause what's already happening, a strong start of the new school year. So some of you joined us on that tour, and I heard that some of you spent 2 full days or 1 full day on those tours. So maybe next year we can say the winner of the most school visited by a legislator. All right, so now as we are focused on building a school system that truly meets students where they are and lift them to where they can go, and a system that believes unleashing the potential of every single child. And that word is being strengthened by our superintendent, Dr. Taylor. So last school year, we did a lot of hire and a lot of promotion. I think that this is the best hire of last year. Come on board. Dr. Taylor, come on out.
Well, good evening, friends and neighbors. This is way more formal than I like to be normally, but whether you felt compelled to be here out of some obligation, or whether this is deep in your heart and it's rooted in your core beliefs, I'm glad that you're here. And it speaks volumes that you're here with us today, because not just because it's such a huge part of the agenda and the work of the Assembly, but also because of what it means for our future in Montgomery County. So thank you. Thank you not just for being here today, but thank you for the work that you have done to bring us to this point, because we really are positioned in a great way because of your work and your collaboration to make this community much stronger for the future. So thank you for that. I want to say that we have this shared commitment of preparing our young people to become future ready. You'll see that highlighted significantly in the conversations that we have today. I genuinely hope that this is just that, a conversation, and an opportunity for us to exchange ideas in ways that we can support you in your work, and that we can mutually build things up for Montgomery County and for the future of our youth. So with that, I do want to take an opportunity for you to introduce yourselves and to share who you are in the district that you represent, and to answer Ms. Yang's question of who won the award for most schools visited at the start of the school year. It's too bad because she has an event this evening, but it was Bernice. She went to 18. Yeah, she kind of killed it. She did a great job. No, she knocked it out of the park. But who will win next year? That's the question. You didn't know it was a competition, and it's not, but maybe it is. So I want to take a moment for our folks who are representing us in Annapolis to stand and to share who you are and what district you represent. We've got some microphones that I'll share on either side. And we'll start with Senator King.
Good evening. I'm Senator Nancy King. I represent District 39, and I chair the Education Business Administration Subcommittee on Budget and Tax.
Good evening, Greg Williams, District 39. I'm on the Ways and Means Committee.
Good evening, Delegate Lori Charkoudian, District 20, Economic Matters Committee.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm Delegate Janelle Wilkins. I'm the Vice Chair of the Ways and Means Committee, which deals with K through 12 education policy.
I'll be your microphone carrier.
Thank you. I'm Delegate Natalie Ziegler. I represent District 9A, and I sit on Environment and Transportation.
Good evening, everybody. Jared Solomon from District 18. I serve on the Appropriations Committee, and I'm the dad of a proud kindergartner at Rosemary Hills.
Hello, everybody. Delegate David Fraser Hidalgo, and I represent District 15, and I am also on Economic Matters.
I am very obviously not Delegate Leslie Lopez, but I'm her Chief of Staff, Emily. Appropriately, she is teaching a class at GW today, so that is an appropriate reason for not being here, and she's on the Health and Government Operations Committee.
Thank you so much. Senator Feldman.
Brian Feldman, State Senate, District 15, and I chair in the Senate our Education, Energy, and Environment Committee.
Good evening, Delegate Julie Plakovich-Carr, District 17, and I chair the Early Childhood Subcommittee.
Good evening, Delegate Lily Chi, District 15. I serve Economic Matters Committee.
Good evening, also District 15, Linda Foley, and I serve on the Environment and Transportation Committee.
Good evening, I'm Delegate Ryan Spiegel. I also represent District 17, which is where we are right now, and I serve on the Appropriations Committee.
Good evening, Delegate Sarah Wallach, District 16, serve on the Appropriations Committee. The subcommittee is Education and Economic Development. Parent of 3 MCPS students, many of which were visited by the superintendent.
Mark Corman, District 16, Richard Montgomery class of 99, go Rockets.
Good evening, Ben Kramer, one of the team D19 that includes Bonnie Cullison, Charlotte Crutchfield, and Vaughn Stewart, and a proud graduate of Kennedy High School, 1975. There you go.
Hey everybody, I'm Teresa Warman, delegate from District 16, and I'm a Northwest High School class of 2009. Go Jags!
Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, and yeah.
Too late. It's stale. Since you were given awards earlier, what about the fact that District 15 is the only district legislatively that has the full, complete delegation here tonight? Do we get an award?
We're going to have to come up with something for that.
Thank you.
That's pretty solid. Well, here's something that we can't agree on, even if we can't agree on the awards. We're lucky to have you in Annapolis, and we're lucky to have you representing us, and we're lucky to be on the same team. And hopefully this is a pervasive message that also comes across tonight, is that this is a team sport, is that no one person does any of this alone. Certainly in the legislature, that is the case. Absolutely, you need partners in this work, and we hope that you consider us to be your best partners in education as you tackle these really tough items on your education agenda. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to our board president, Julie Yang, and just thank you all so much for being here tonight. Please give yourselves a big, hearty round of applause.
All right, as we, tonight we will unveil our priority for the year, and then to help us during this process is Miss Patricia Armstrong. Patricia, where are you? Please come on over. Tonight we will first to share a little bit the process, and then we'll share the priorities, and the last part is Q&A. So Patricia is help kick us off with this presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We hope it's going to be an informative night. As Ms. Yang said, the board has identified some ongoing interests. we would like you to consider throughout the legislative session. By now, all of you have been introduced to these, many of you a number of times. So we're not going to spend too much time going through these, but we do want to quickly address the interests and why they are so important. While the priority issues we will share in a few moments cover topics where we see a current need, our ongoing interests are stalwarts in the area of education. These items remain largely unchanged year after year because they are so core to our mission of educating students. In this section of the platform that determines many of our platform positions during the legislative session, items like local autonomy and adequate funding, including our reluctance to support bills that include unfunded mandates, are central to our mission and belief that local boards are best positioned to address the needs of our students and school community. While this does at times lead the board to oppose well-intentioned bills, not because of what they are trying to achieve, but because they would result in a directive on the school system, we are always open to conversations about ways to work together to achieve the same desired outcome. I look forward to working with you all to further these interests and the priority issues we are sharing this evening. This year, you will find a new section in our platform, areas where we intend to focus some increased attention. These areas for increased advocacy are ones where we see a need for some legislative intervention, but the issue did not rise to the level of a priority issue for the school system this year. Take some time to review these items. If any one of them piques your interest, please reach out. We would be happy to partner with you with the goal of moving these needs forward. And don't worry, if none of the items of increased advocacy strike your fancy, there's still plenty of opportunity to partner. One great way is through our priority issues. At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Yang and Dr. Taylor to come forward and present the Board of Education's and MCPS's priority issues for the 2026 session of the General Assembly.
Thank you, Patty. Now, this year is the second annual Legislative Priority Summit. So last year, we have a few priorities. This year, we made it 2 tiers. So we have a priority and a section of increased advocacy. So that's in your handout. But tonight, we'll only talk about the first tier, the first 4 legislative priorities. Okay, each priority contributes significantly to empowering MCPS and school system around the state in the mission to provide excellent education. So we present these priorities in no particular order, all right? So for priority number 1, so our school system is ready for the future, but the state graduation requirements aren't keeping up. If we want our students to succeed tomorrow, we have to update requirement today. So let's take a look at what our student member of the board says on this video. Please roll the video.
7 years ago, Maryland initiated a review and update to graduation requirements. I was still in elementary school. Since then, a lot has changed. A global pandemic changed the world and the definition of Zoom. The blueprint for Maryland's future changed public education in our state. And technology has changed everything else, from the way we communicate and de-stress to what current and future career options may be. It's really exciting. But then I wonder, with all the changes in the world, how are we making sure our graduation requirements are keeping up? Students frequently tell me that the current requirements don't prepare them for the future, or are so rigid that they don't have any opportunity to explore the options that are available after graduation. If we don't feel like what we're learning is going to help us in the future, or it's not engaging our interests, it's hard to stay motivated. Graduation requirements need to be regularly reviewed and updated to keep up with our ever-changing world, and to ensure school is a place that will prepare us to thrive in our futures, not highlight the needs of the past.
So I think that video says it very well. Our students want to learn something that is useful, that prepare them for the future. What we are really asking is to have a regular review of graduation requirement. What you have learned, Senator King, when you went to school, when I went to school, might not be what's useful and applicable, prepare them for the future. So that's really what this priority is about. It's about. So
are you looking at a difference in credits, or what is the change that you're looking for?
So I think it's both. both, whether certain courses requirement. For example, I have heard from many students like there is a technology requirement, and really, what is a technology requirement? If the technology requirement is only about how to use the computer, our kids know how to use the computer, right? And also about credits. So right now it's 22 credits. So let's take a look at, different states have different credit requirement. Is it all 22 credits needed, or how they are distributed prepare our students for the future and meet their needs? And I wonder whether Dr. Taylor have anything to add.
So I think that there's a wealth of opportunity that's kind of gone unexplored, and it's an opportunity for us to catch up and look at things like industry certifications and potential externships and internships as part of the requirement mix. I know that this is a little bit of lightning in a bottle, but it's worth having a conversation about financial literacy and what that might mean on a broader scale, and how we work that into our entire structure. And I think it really is maybe in our best interest to just take a step back and say, are we preparing kids that we know with the durable skills that we know are going to make them successful in life after high school? And does the current pathway of courses and credits really prepare them with those durable skills to be successful? So I think we can all agree that it's important that school leaders who know their students best have the flexibility to use resources in ways that meet their students' needs, right? So here's the controversial part. Community schools receive substantial funding through the concentration of poverty grant to provide essential wraparound services that, by large, address non-academic barriers to learning. While these supports are critical for student well-being, many students also need additional academic interventions to succeed. However, the current guidelines for community schools restrict grant fundings to wraparound services only, preventing their use for many valuable academic support options. As a result, many students receive extensive non-academic assistance while struggling to meet the academic benchmarks. For us, this is even an efficacy issue tied to community schools to promote tangible goals and tangible achievement tied to the success of community schools. We're going to hear from one of our principals.
I am the proud principal of Joanne Lelick Elementary School in Broadacres, one of more than 75 schools in our system that's designated as a community school. Community schools offer vital services and resources to students and their families, ensuring that every child has the opportunity to succeed. We're able to do this through the use of specially designated grant funds. These funds help meet students' non-academic needs, including free meals, counseling services, healthcare services, and before and after care. At Lelick, we've seen firsthand how this model transformed lives, not just for students, but their families and communities. Unfortunately, these funds cannot be used to support academics directly, such as by hiring additional classroom teachers to reduce class sizes or bring in specialized instructors to provide individualized academic support. So when I see students who are eager to learn but struggle to keep up, we are often left with few options and even fewer resources to step in and help. That's a difficult place to be in as a school leader, knowing your students' needs, but being unable to intervene because you're constrained by how funding can be used. If we truly want to give every child an opportunity to succeed, we must make room for academic support to stand alongside the critical services that community schools already provide. Having some additional flexibility in determining what resources would be most beneficial for students in my individual school would give me the ability to tailor what the school offers to what my students need.
Community schools are amazing. The concept is utterly phenomenal. It provides an opportunity for students to receive the support that they need to be successful in school. However, in some cases, student success is stifled by the inability for us to use the grant funds that in the most effective ways that actually meet student academic needs. We know what works. We know that strategies like high-dosage tutoring are highly effective at meeting the needs of young people in an academic setting, but these funds don't allow for the things that we know work. They only allow for part of the strategies that work. Increased flexibility could be the difference maker in Montgomery County and across Maryland. The Montgomery County Board of Education supports expanding the use of state grant monies to provide greater flexibility for schools with community school designation to address the needs of students and their schools in the academic and non-academic settings. I'll pass this to Julie Yang.
Yeah, all right. All right, that was priority number 2, and we are going into priority number 3. So this is an item that we had last year. It's about AP/IB exam fees. So we would like to, for all our students, we want to increase accessibility for these high-level exams. However, we are advocating to do it on an income sliding scale. Please watch the video.
Access to advanced placement and international baccalaureate programs represent an invaluable resource for our students. As the principal of Richard Montgomery High School, home to the MCPS-IB Magnet program, I know how impactful an IB education can be, and how expensive. Last year, MCPS spent more than $4.2 million on AP and IB exams. This includes covering costs for families who need the financial support and those who don't. Access to opportunity is a foundational principle of public education. For many of our families, the school system covering AP and IB test fees provides their children with the chance to take these courses and possibly earn college credit. For other families in our county, this financial assistance isn't necessary. As districts make tough budget decisions, helping those in need is a top priority. But it is important that school systems maintain a level of flexibility that allows them to best allocate available dollars to maximize student opportunity and success.
Thank you, Principal Dini. So we all know in this county we have a wide spectrum of families in terms of socioeconomic abilities. Some families need some help, others don't. And as policymakers and overseeing a school budget, we want to be able to use our resources most effectively, meet the needs where they are. My children each take many AP classes in high schools, but I gladly pay them. Even though they were expensive, my family could afford it. I'm happy to pay them. So we are saying that it is our responsibility to increase access for our students, but we would like to do it where it matters to the family.
Can I ask a question? So what would the total ask be for covering all the AP exams?
So right now, our system last year spent about $4.2 million to cover all the AP and IB exams. All of it. But I think last session, Delegate Wilkins took on this in the House, and there was a proposal of doing it based on some income level, and it will save the system million or over $1 million in this area.
She needs a Senate sponsor.
Oh, she needs a Senate sponsor. I'm saying it through the speaker, all right? Okay, all right. Right, this is one that is the round 2 for this priority, and we're going to move to the next priority.
All right, last one. And you may be asking, why on earth is MCPS advocating for a change in the instructional time requirement? Well, the law requires that schools be in session for 180 days and 1,080 hours every year. And if you're wondering how long MCPS is scheduled to be in session, it's over 1,170 hours, far exceeding the hour requirement of 1080. But yet we still meet the arbitrary time period of 180 days. To ensure that students have enough time for a full and effective education, that's what the law requires. But is it possible, even likely, that a school system may meet one requirement but still be short of another? Why, yes, MCPS faced this exact scenario this last school year when we met the minimum hours requirement, but we were short 2 days due to inclement weather emergencies. We were snowed in for quite a while. In a minute, you'll get additional details about the operational cost, but I wanted you to hear first from one of our principals to see what the impact of having an arbitrary set number of days actually means in the school setting. And what you may realize after listening to Principal Shin from Parkland Middle School is that test dates don't move, a formalized instruction doesn't change an awful lot, and teachers can adjust, but the school is left having to deal with a set of additional challenges.
Last year, we had several weather-related closures. Enough that, even though we met the required instructional hours, we were still short 2 school days under state law. That meant extending the school year by 2 more days in June. Our last day was supposed to be Friday, June 13th, but the last day of school got pushed back to Tuesday, June 17th. Although I'm always happy to continue working and supporting our students, the truth is, continuing our instruction was very challenging. By this point, all of our state and district assessments had been finished, our end-of-year field trips had already been completed, and our 8th graders already participated in their promotion ceremony. As a result, absenteeism was very high on the last 2 days, and our teachers were not able to utilize this time effectively for instruction. While we were able to fulfill the technical requirements, the reality was that there was very little instruction and student learning occurring on these last 2 days of school. By Friday, June 13th, all of our students, staff, and families were ready for summer to begin to recharge for another successful school year.
So Parkland's experience is not unique. Absenteeism across the county was extremely high over the last 2 school days. So much so that MCPS's reduction in chronic absenteeism, which would have been a little over 2% reduction, was reduced by half, just in 2 days. It also cost the school system more than $1.75 million in additional personnel costs to staff the schools for an additional 2 days, because some of our employees are paid by the hour and they had to work on the snow days in addition to working the 2 additional days. These additional costs associated with keeping up our buildings to make sure that they were student ready, and that's also 2 additional days of running HVAC in the summertime as well. I got to tell you, coming from another state which had an either-or policy versus an and policy of you either meet the instructional hours or the instructional days, did allow localities the flexibility to adjust while also keeping a schedule that parents found to be predictable without upsetting traditional schedules for assessment at the end of the year. As we all know, we work with partners outside of the state whose assessment schedules do not change, even though we have the flexibility to do so in Maryland, and our state assessment schedules do not change. Last year, Anne Arundel County was granted this flexibility, and we are advocating for the same flexibility in MCPS. The Montgomery County Board of Education supports a local bill that would allow MCPS to comply with the minimal instructional hour requirement through being in session for either a minimum number of days or a minimum number of hours, but not both.
To wrap up tonight, so while we must conclude tonight, it's 7:30, and this conversation is certainly not over. We are very accessible. My colleagues and I and Dr. Taylor always welcome you to shoot us an email, call us on the phone. We want to continue this conversation, and we really look forward to this session of working together, whether to support the bills you put out or work together to draft these bills or get you the information you need so that you can help us fulfill the dreams of our families and students. So thank you very much for coming tonight, and thank you for the staff. Thanks so much.